So hello, everyone. I am Sarah Marie Paul. I am a wellness educator. I'm a Young Living Gold brand partner, and I am super excited to talk to you tonight all about herb and oil infused mocktails. I have one of my favorites that is right here, right now. And tonight we are going to talk about a few that have ningxia, a few that have essential oils, and then a few that are just completely oil optional, different choices. And then I'm also going to talk to you about some of my favorite store-bought brands that I always have on hand, which are really simple to pull out if I have company over. I'm going to share with you how I use my wine fridge in my home. I'm going to share with you just like all the things that I have navigated through the past 6 years. So I'm going to share a little bit about my story with you. And then I am going to get really deep into the presentation. So, and at one point, I am also going to ask you, I see so many of you drinking red stuff. I love it. Yes, right? Like bringing it up. I am also going to ask you if you brought a recipe to share, like a favorite non-alcoholic, little mocktail. That would be fantastic. If you can share that in the comments section, I would love that. I'm going to do a little raffle, a fun raffle, where I'm going to send you all the ingredients to my mama drink, which I love, just as my thanks for being here and for contributing to the class as well. So if you have a non-alcoholic or a little mocktail recipe or something that's your go-to, you can put that in the comments as well. And the chat thread is just at the bottom. So let's get started. Let me see where I put my presentation. I am going to try to keep my eye on as people are popping in as well. So bear with me. You can also send me a direct message if I don't see them. So let me see. Here we go. Share my screen. Okay. So here it is. I'll just move this over a little bit for you. Okay, so I'm just going to scroll tonight. All right, so this is our workshop tonight. Our call is all about herb and oil infused mocktails. And tonight we're going to talk about why a mocktail, like why on earth would you even want one? Staple ingredients to have on hand so that you can make fun non-alcoholic drinks in a pinch. Favorite vitality oils for drinks. I have a list of like my go-tos that I use the most. You can obviously use any of the vitality oils, but these are just my tried and true ones that I use all of the time. Favorite DIY recipes, a couple will be ningxia included, a couple will be vitality oil included, and a couple are going to just be straight up just fun drinks with fresh ingredients on hand. And then some best store-bought options. At the very end, I'm going to give you a link. You just, the drill, you fill out like a 2 to 3 minute long, if it even takes that long, a little Google form, and I will then email you all the recipes that we talk about tonight. So why a mocktail? I'll share a little bit about my story with you and why I am sharing this with you. And then we are going to talk about, some other scenarios as well. Love it. Yes. So if you have a recipe, please share it in the chat thread as well. That would be awesome. So my story, I have been a sober woman for about 6 years now. And that means I don't drink any alcohol at all. And when I made the transition to not drinking, and I would go to restaurants specifically. And even if you do drink, but if you've ever gone to a restaurant and you didn't want an alcoholic drink, you might be able to empathize with me a little bit on this one. And I would open up the menu and I would look for something that was like fun or fancy or something that just like would taste good, but still maybe be a little bit, I don't know, healthy. And my options at most places were soda. which I don't drink soda either, typical traditional soda, because I don't want anything with high fructose corn syrup in my body. It would be water, which is fine, but not really fun at all unless you dress it up a little bit or a lot. There would sometimes be juices from the bar, which were never like fresh juices. It was always like the concentrate juices that you could get. And I'm not going to sit there and drink apple juice, with my dinner when I'm on a romantic date night with my husband. Or it would be maybe like soda water, which is very different than sparkling water, my friends. When you join like forces into the sober world, you kind of learn that that's very, very different. It tastes different too. And that was kind of it. And I'm like, there has to be something more. And I remember in the beginning, just kind of asking like, hey, can you ask the bartender to make me a fun non-alcoholic drink? And the servers were not always the kindest about that either, because they didn't understand, like, why weren't you drinking? So there are a lot of different reasons that I'm not drinking. I'm not going to share my entire story this evening, but I was determined to find other options. In addition, I host events a lot. I have friends over, I have family over. My house is kind of like the hub when it comes to entertaining. And I like to have other things on hand. I do not have alcohol in my home at all. And I won't have it for events and gatherings and things like that either. And I was always like, oh my gosh, I want to have more than just bottled water on hand. Like, what else can I have for when people come over? So what I slowly but surely did, I have, and I can kind of show you here. This is my homeschool corner. And this is my wine fridge, which is it first started just as a solely Ningxia fridge. And now it is like a fun drink fridge. So now my friends, my family, they know I'm like, do you want a drink? Oh, do you want something fun? Go into the fridge. And what I will do a lot of times, I'll go to a health food store. Locally, I go to Kimberton Whole Foods, and we will just like buy loads and loads of non-alcoholic fun drinks, and we will fill this fridge up. And I'm going to share with you some of the best tasting ones that I found, because all of them didn't taste the best either. But I found some ones that are like crowd pleasers among everyone. So that's one thing that we started doing. So I like to give you and your guests a different option. And also thinking about it this way, even if you are having a party that has alcohol, maybe you're like the people who are designated drivers, they may not want to just drink plain water, right? Maybe they want something a little fancy too. Or maybe there are people there who are not wanting to drink alcohol. But if you don't have other options for adults and adult beverages, they may end up drinking alcohol. Not that that's put on you, but I'm just saying, like, think about your people and think about yourself too. And chances are, like, at nighttime, I'm going to make myself a fun drink that I feel good about. I also know that's giving me therapeutic and health benefits, which is why it's so cool to be able to drink herbal infused beverages, oil infused beverages, because not only are you having something which is great hydration wise, but you're having something in addition that is really like nourishing for your body. So that's what I'm all about. That's, why a mocktail, in my opinion, are all of these reasons, because I just feel like they're fun, but beyond being fun, there's a lot of purpose behind them too. Thank you for sharing your recipes too. I'll go over those in a minute. So staples to have on hand. This is just when I did this staple recipe or this staple list, I'm like, oh my gosh, I could go on and on and on. And one thing that I forgot on this list was coconut water. I love coconut water in so many different drinks. So what we drink from in our home now, we drink from mason jars. And the reason that we've switched over was for a lot of different reasons. One, our glasses kept breaking. Two, we don't drink out of any plastic at all. We don't have plastic in our home. Even for little ones, like I start them immediately on stainless steel cups, or, my son and all of his friends drink out of mason jars too. And they're more durable, they're more versatile, and these are really great to just pop a lid on, and you can shake up all of these fun drinks right into the glass as well. So you can have fancy glasses. I never have fancy glasses. When I want to get fancy, I use my mason jars. Straws on hand make a drink always feel fancier. A juicer, you could do just a citrus juicer, you could do a hand juicer, you could do, a big old juicer that can juice all the things. I have all three, but again, I'm like, we do a lot of repurposing all of our different fruits to make our own juices in our home and things like that too. So I'm all about the juicers. If you need like recommendations on anything, I can share those with you then too. Good water. You do not want cruddy water. Nobody wants cruddy water, but you want to serve, or you want to be drinking good quality water. So back here, there is my Berkey water filter. We use this currently for drinking water and we love it. It tastes very different compared to even our well water, which we've had tested extensively, and our well water is completely great and clean, but this tastes better. It tastes cleaner. Filtered water is great. I prefer water that has, like, from a spring water over purified water any day. Purified water takes pretty much everything out of it. And I think that minerals are essential. And there are different ways that you can put minerals back into your water as well. I do use trace minerals. I also use the Vitality drops, which I love keeping these just in my purse. I always have Vitality oils in my purse, and I always have these drops in my purse as well. And when I order water or sparkling water at a restaurant, I have no shame, and I will just put this into my regular water, put these into my sparkling water, and be good to go if restaurants don't have any other options. And that's become our go-to for us. Raw honey. I'm going to share a lot of recipes of how to make drinks sweet, but in a healthy way. Raw apple cider vinegar for drinks that you want to be a little bit on the tart side. That is great. It's also incredible for your gut health. Sea salt, that is wonderful, especially if you are adding any Vitality oils into your drinks. You can add just a pinch of sea salt, Vitality oil on top, and it will help, one, on a mineral level for your beverage. Two, it'll help the essential oils to disperse evenly throughout the glass so that you don't have those like weird oil pockets in your drinks. Sparkling water. My husband and I have become connoisseurs of sparkling water and sparkling mineral water. That's great. Easy to just even have in a pantry. If you want to make something feel fancy, you can add sparkling water to your ningxia. Boom, you just made a fancy drink. Fresh fruit, or you can even have frozen fruit for the recipes that I'm going to share with you tonight. To either, take them and just kind of muddle them or crush them into a glass, or you can put them into the juicer. Fresh herbs are amazing. And if you really want like a little touch of something special, they do make a big difference. So with ginger and mint specifically, I prefer those fresh. You can use oils, but they're a little bit strong for my taste in fancy drinks. So I like to do those fresh. Vitality oils, I'm going to give you my must-have list up next. Ningxia Red, we always have Ningxia Zing on hand too. If you don't have this, you're probably just like, you're sleeping on it. Whenever people come over, they know that we have it. I have people who just request it. It is a great fancy drink in itself. Just taking that and pouring that into a mason jar, adding a straw to it, makes life just seem a little bit fancier. It is like our sparkling energy drink, but it tastes really good. And a glass pitcher, like a glass pitcher for any of these recipes that I'm going to give you. There are so many times when I literally knew I was having friends over and I would just take water, whatever fruit I had, throw it into the glass pitcher and put it into my refrigerator. And then when my friends came over, I was like, oh, do you want some infused water? And it was literally just like raspberries that I had in the fridge thrown into a glass pitcher, topped with filtered water. But it made everything just seem more fancy. It made it seem more thoughtful, and it looks really pretty too. So those are some staples to have on hand for you. Oh, I'm loving all these recipes. Okay. Next up, favorite vitality oils. Let me know which one you love to use in the comments as well, please, because these are just like my go-tos. These are the ones that came right off my head. Lime is probably like my favorite. Lemon is a close second because I use both of them in so many recipes. Whenever something calls for fresh lime juice or lemon juice, I can substitute it with my vitality oils. I do love orange, and I brought these for a point that I want to make too, because a huge question that I always get is, okay, I have the vitality, I have the essential oil. What's the difference? Here's the answer. There's no difference. Nothing is different. They did nothing different in either of these bottles. They had to label this as a vitality. Our vitality oils are for consumption. So they're labeled as a dietary supplement. Via the FDA, we're allowed to say that. This is an essential oil, same exact thing in the bottle. It's labeled with a colored label because it is meant to be used topically or in the diffuser. And if you're having a supplement, it has to be labeled differently if you're labeling something for oral consumption rather than topical application, just via the FDA requirements. So there's nothing different. I typically get the 15 milliliter bottles because it comes down to it's cheaper. Like for this 5 milliliter and this 15 milliliter, to pay for a 15 milliliter, you're actually just paying for a 10 milliliter. So you're getting a whole 5 milliliter bottle free. So in my home, you're going to see a ton of these. But when you're if you're sharing on social media and you're talking about ingesting, you're supposed to share these. Okay. So a lot of times I just talk about them. But these are some of my favorites. Oh my gosh, you guys have so many favorites. I love all the citrus ones, right? Like, aren't they so good? Lime, orange, grapefruit. Oh yeah, I didn't even put citrus fresh on there. That is one of my favorites too. Grapefruit are my fave. All the citrus oils, lime, lemon, ginger, grapefruit, red shot. Yes, I put that one last. I'll talk about that one so much. Lemon in my water every morning. So good. Thieves in hot water with honey. The best for your throat, for your immune system. Ginger and lime, if I don't have fresh for a recipe, perfect. Ooh, orange in my French toast. That sounds divine, Angela. That sounds so good. Lime, tangerine, orange, thieves in your tea. Sometimes coriander. Ooh, do you put coriander in your tea, Sarah? Oh, I have that one and I never use that. So you're going to inspire me. Tangerine and water. Okay, what does red shot taste like? I'm going to tell you. Shirley Temple with cherry juice, ginger ale, and add ice. Ooh, yes, good old Shirley Temple, right? I love ginger beer. Okay, so what does red shot taste like? Oh my gosh. So red shot is a little bit spicy. It's absolutely delicious. It tastes great to complement Ningxia, but you can also drink it on its own. I think I just saw a recipe for red shot hot chocolate that you can have like a dark hot chocolate and put the red shot in it. So it's like cinnamony, little bit of citrus, but it's like a little bit of a spiciness to it. I love it. I absolutely love it. I just bought, I don't even know how many bottles. I think they just came today. Jade lemon, tangerine. I like lavender too in moderation. It is so yummy. Okay. So those are some of my favorites. And if you have some on hand, does it have black pepper in it? I don't know. Does anybody have a bottle there that you can check or that you can search real quick for the ingredients in red shot and share it for me? I don't know if it does. It might. I can't remember. I've been out of it for quite some time. So I think I just bought 5 bottles with the sale. Okay. So vitality oils, you can always put those out. A lot of times what I'll do is just have a bottle of Ningxia. I'll have vitalities. I have a little sign that says add 2 ounces of Ningxia, 2 to 3 drops of whatever oil you choose, and top off with water or sparkling water. Done. Mocktail bar is done. Like that is as simple as it gets. and people absolutely love it. So here are some of my favorite Ningxia drinks. Basic recipe, what I just shared with you. 2 ounces of Ningxia Red. Okay, I always get the bottles. Lately, I've been getting the packets because my son has been refusing to drink the bottles. He just wants the packets. So I have those in my fridge. I add 2 drops of Vitality of choice. You can add as many as you want to taste. Fill glass with sparkling or spring water. Optional add-ons. What I do, I typically add a tablespoon of elderberry syrup to it as well. Or you can swap it out and add a can of Ningxia Zing and then top it off. And that's really, really nice too. Red shot, tangerine, citrus, lime, grapefruit, cassia, and spearmint. Thank you. So no black pepper. Black pepper is in the Zing though. There's a little bit of black pepper in Zing, but those are all the ingredients. Thank you so much, Sarah. And then the Ningxia Bomb. This is one of my faves for like when I really need to pick me up. 2 ounces of Ningxia Red, 2 drops of whatever Vitality oil. My favorite Vitality oil with Ningxia right now is lime or orange, but you can add any of the ones that we talked about. 1 can of Ningxia Zing and 1 Ningxia Nitro. And that is like Zoom. You will just fly around in happy land. And I love that drink when I need a little bit of a pick-me-up. All right, here are some oil-infused mocktails. So these are some fun recipes that I wanted to share with you. This one is a cucumber lemon cooler. So this has lemon Vitality as the oil in it. And this is like super, all of these 3 recipes are like really, really fresh, refreshing tasting. So you chop cucumber into small pieces, mix it with lemon Vitality, a little bit of fresh lemon juice, honey in a bowl, let it sit for 10 minutes. That way everything kind of like melds together. Then you put that in the bottom of a mason jar, pour club soda on top of it, add ice, shake it up or stir it up. If you want, you can put some mint on there. Done deal, okay? And that tastes so good, so special, like something just a little fun and fancy. What do you think about cucumber lemon cooler? Is this something that you would try, or is this something that you would pass on? What do you think? Let me know. Awesome. So it seems like all of you would at least try it, right? Give it a try. Let's see the next one. This is a totally different flavor profile. So this is a blue Mule mocktail. Okay, so Mule is a typical alcoholic drink. This is one that's a little bit different with some blueberries in it too. So with this one, you take blueberries, you mix them with honey in a bowl, and you kind of like smash them down, muddle them a little bit. Pour the blueberry honey mixture into a copper mug if you want to be fancy, or into a mason jar if you're just cool with that. Add some fresh lime juice and lime Vitality, and then take your Zing, fill it to the top, which is sparkling water. So if you're not a fan of caffeine, you can just do it with straight up sparkling. You don't have to use Zing. And then garnish with more blueberries, a sprig of thyme, and a slice of lime if desired. So what do you think? Blue Mule or the previous one? Which one would you choose? And that was the cucumber lemon cooler or the blue Mule mocktail. Which one would you want me to serve you up? All right. Lots and lots of you for the blue Mule. Okay, and here's the next one. Rosemary Grapefruit Refresher. This one is like my fave. I'm a sucker for grapefruit anything though. Okay, so this is a little bit more in depth because it also has you making a simple syrup. Simple syrups are things that you can have on hand. You can use them in drinks like this. You can use it in tea. Heck, you could even use it in coffee. So on the next page, I have how to make the actual simple syrup. You would use water, rosemary leaves, and sugar or honey to add it to a pot, bring it to boil, stir until the sugar or honey dissolves, simmer it for a minute. Then you remove it from heat and let it steep about 30 minutes. Strain the rosemary leaves out, and you can store it in a glass jar in the fridge for up to 2 weeks. And then you would take, to make the actual drink, you take a tablespoon of that simple syrup, grapefruit juice, grapefruit vitality, put it in a shaker or a mason jar, top it with ice, shake well to combine, fill a glass with ice, pour the mixture in, fill to the top with either Zing or sparkling water, and put a little rosemary sprig in. So that's the third one. This is the rosemary grapefruit refresher. All right, now out of those three, what do you think? Rosemary grapefruit refresher, blue mule mocktail, cucumber lemon cooler. Which one sounds like one that you would love to have? Blueberry Mule sounds like the favorite so far. Okay, now we're doing oils optional DIY mocktails. These are, again, these are pretty simple, easy to make larger batches of to put into a pitcher. And for this one, it's just a citrus cooler. So this is really great for your immune system too. 1 grapefruit, 1 orange, 1 lemon, 1 lime, 1 teaspoon of raw honey, a quart of filtered water, and a dash of sea salt. This one has you hand squeezing all those citruses. You could also use a juicer. Put it into a quart-sized mason jar, mix in your honey, let it dissolve. That's going to be common here too. Whenever you add the sweetener, whenever you add the honey, and you mix it with your citruses or you mix it with your oil, you're going to want to give it some time to kind of meld and dissolve. Add water, add sea salt, shake it up, add some ice, and you're good to go. So you could always pump this up by adding in some vitalities if you want, or if you don't have all those citruses on hand, putting some of the citruses in, putting some of the vitalities in, and mixing it up that way. That is like one of my favorites. What about a mojito? Who loves lime and mint? Where are my lime and mint friends at? Yeah. So here is a great recipe that you can use. Very simple. Okay, a mock mojito. 4 limes, 1 tablespoon of raw honey. Here's a little bit of that raw apple cider vinegar coming in. 6 to 8 mint leaves minced, a quart of filtered water, and ice, which is optional. Hand squeeze your limes or put them in a juicer, put into that quart mason jar, add in the honey, apple cider vinegar, a little bit of that mint, fill with water and mix well. I always like to shake mine up, like I said, in that mason jar, and add ice if desired. Boom, you're good to go. So you can literally have your staples, your honey, your apple cider vinegar in your pantry. You know that you're having company or you just want fancy drinks for the week. You can order some limes, have limes and mint on hand, and you could be making these like every single day. Super refreshing too. Next up, ginger snap. So this is one that I loved through my first trimester of pregnancy because I was so sick. But some people really like ginger. Are you a ginger fan? Or do you prefer like, you know, a little bit of spicy drinks, or are you like more of like a sweet drink fan? Let me know in the comments. So this is a ginger snap. 2 lemons, 1 tablespoon of raw honey, 1 tablespoon of raw apple cider vinegar, a heaping teaspoon of fresh grated ginger. I prefer fresh, but again, you could totally use oil with this one. You just have to like be a little light-handed with it. Maybe add like a toothpick swirl. And that is a measurement when you're using vitality oils, where you just take a wooden toothpick, you dip it in, you put it into your drink or your sauce or whatever you're making, and kind of add more from there, because 1 drop is pretty powerful. And a quart of filtered water. Hand squeeze your lemons, put into a quart-sized mason jar, add your honey, apple cider vinegar, and ginger. You fill it with water, let it mix well. I shake mine up, let it sit for 15 minutes. Then I strain the ginger out. If you are like, pretty hardcore, maybe you want to keep it in, but I prefer it strained out. And I feel like this is like nice. It's warming. Ginger has so many great benefits to your digestive system as well. So this is a great one that you could have cold. You could also do this one warm, which would taste really, really good on a cold night too. All right, and I think I have a couple more of these. Oh, this one is so simple, easy. Okay, watermelon water. Cut up watermelon into 1-inch cubes. Put the cubes into an ice tray and freeze them. Have them on hand. Once they're frozen, place the cubes into a quart-sized mason jar. Top it off with filtered water or top it off with sparkling water. And as it melts, you will have a delicious watermelon infused water, which is great for hydration too. So out of these ones, let's review. We did the citrus cooler, the mock mojito, ginger snap, and watermelon water. Out of those 4, which one would be like I want to try this one first? Again, the citrus cooler, the mock mojito, ginger snap, or the watermelon water. Let me know. Ooh, there's a whole bunch of different ones. Watermelon, citrus cooler, ginger snap, mock mojito. Mock mojito is my jam. I love that. Citrus cooler or the watermelon water, mojito, watermelon, ginger snap warm. I agree. That is really yummy, warm. Watermelon water, torn between the mojito and the watermelon. I know, so many fun options here, guys. Really, really fun. Now, how many of you are looking at some of these drinks and you're like, okay, this is great, but what if like I'm thirsty right now and I don't feel like making anything? Any of you, go ahead, just like let me know. Be like, okay, Sarah, that's great, but I really don't feel like grating ginger like right now. So what, what are my options? Do any of you feel that way? Maybe some of you are just like into it. You're like, yeah, I could totally see myself prepping one of these drinks for the entire week, and that would be great too. But let me know if you're feeling like you need something with a little bit less prep. By the way, the Ningxia mocktail, super low maintenance drink there too. Okay, so let's talk about some options, some store-bought options that are tried and true in my home. And I'm going to show you because I'm going to literally pull them out of my fancy drink fridge. And I'm going to also share some options with you because I do not always prep all the things. So here are some of my favorites. And I'm going to just kind of move over a little bit so I can share some of these with you. Okay. Yeah, I mean, and for any of these, like I just showed you, you can also prep them ahead of time. You don't have to do that, drink by drink, because that's not always the easiest thing to do. So the easiest thing would just be like cutting the fruit ahead of time. A lot of it is just juicing. So just making sure that you have that done ahead of time as well. Yeah, and with the Ningxia, there's literally no prep at all. It's 2 ounces in a glass, toss some oil on top, toss some water. You're done in like, what, 30 seconds? Right, Angela? Like, it's super simple. Okay, so here are some other lovely store-bought ones that we use a lot. So these Olippops, and I have all the websites on here too. These are some of my favorites. So these are like soda alternatives. They are known as sparkling tonics. They have prebiotics, botanicals, and plant fibers in them. And they're super, super, super low in sugar. The sugar that they have in them is cassava syrup, which is very delicious. And they're all like, this one's strawberry vanilla, but they have a vintage cola, which literally kind of tastes like cola. They have a root beer one. They have an orange cream one. I just tried a ginger lemon one, which is really yummy. That's in here. Cherry vanilla. Oh my gosh, there's so many different ones. We love these. So I just ordered them offline. I'm not affiliated with any of these places either. These are just all ones that like we've ordered, we love. I just ordered a bunch of them offline. They came in like 2 days. You can get them at Kimberton Whole Foods for sure. You can go on their website and see where else they're sold. But I order them offline, and I always find coupon codes and things like that to have them sent to my home. And they taste delicious. Like I love them, love them, love them, love them. And they're great as, like I said, like a soda alternative. I order directly from their website. And I have also, if you're local, you can go into Kimberton. If you order a case of them, they will give you 10% discount if you want to do that as well. But I've ordered directly from them, and I've gotten coupon codes, no problem, offline. And they're delicious. They're really good. A second one, if your flavor palette, like Olipop is great because it's a little bit sweet. It's not overly sweet at all. Like I said, there's literally 3 grams of sugar in one of them. But a different alternative, if you're more of like a savory drink lover, are the Culture Pop drinks. And I just saw that they just started selling these in Giant, actually. Before I had to I was going up to New York to get them from a deli like months ago. And I was so excited when I saw them there. So they have some fun flavors, like this one is orange, mango, chili, and lime. So this one has like a really crazy profile. This one is watermelon, lime, and rosemary. And these are also, they go by, they're a probiotic soda, subtly sweet and slightly sweet as well. And their sugar content is really low as well. These are about 5 grams of sugar. And the sugar that they have in them, or the sugars that they have in them, are not added at all. They're just from the fruit juices that are in there. So like this one has pear, watermelon, and lime juice, a little bit of sea salt in there. And then they have live probiotics that are in them as well. So it's not kombucha. It's different than kombucha. But these are one of my absolute favorites to have on hand too. So we have those like filled up in here. Reading Soda Works. Reading Soda Works is local, really local to me where I am in Berks County. Their website is awesome. They just came out with a whole sparkling beverage line that you can look at their website. You can also go into their factory. It's a really cool place to visit for a little destination. It is, it's right in Reading. They, in addition, make all their own sodas. They have forever. The owners are really sweet. It's a small business, but I love going there. I also get all of my kombucha brewing materials from them as well. Fentimans is another company that does all botanical infused beverages. This is where I get my ginger beer from. I'm a huge ginger beer fan. Like I love that flavor, and I love when it doesn't have a lot of sugar in it. So they do ginger beer, they do like rose water beverages, they do like cucumber mint infused beverages. You can get those at Kimberton as well, but you can really get them on their website as well. All of these places, they ship straight from their website too. Here, do any of you, I don't know, are any of you, I was never a big, huge beer drinker, but for any of you who love hoppy beer, or maybe you have like a significant other who loves hops, or any of you into hops or like that more like deep flavor of a beverage, let me know if any of you love that. Because this website, Hoplark, they have tea. Oh, look, Sarah has it. They have hop infused tea. Okay, so you can go on there, and I always have these, and like it's funny because Sarah just pulled one out, but like typically it's like the guys who come over, like all, the husbands or the guys or my brothers that are over, and they're like, oh my gosh, these are amazing. And you can go through and like look at their whole brewing process of how they create their teas. It's really neat to see. They are very full flavored, full bodied. But if you like that flavor, people love them as an alternative to a beer, as as well. And then there's also kombucha. I do not have a brand that I love because I make my own kombucha. I was going to share that with you tonight, but it's a process, and that would have taken like half of my explanation for this evening. But do any of you have a store-bought kombucha that you really love? You can share that in the comments. I know that I love making mine because it's just nice to be able to add your own flavors and things like that to it. But that's also a great alternative for like a fancy drink to have on hand. It lasts a really long time in your fridge as well, to be able to just kind of pull out. So out of these beverages, these store-bought favorites, which one sounds really yummy to you? And Ashley said Health Aid brand, that she really likes that for kombucha. So what do you think? What would you like to try? The first three: Olipop, and Culture Pop. Lots of good ones. You will have to let me know if you try any of these. Let me know. Like I said, we absolutely love them in our home. Okay. And now what I'm going to share with you is the most important thing. Like, have fun with this too. Okay. Like, don't let this stress you out. You can have fun with it. The recipes that I gave you are just meant to be a guideline, or if you're like, oh, you know what, like I'm having my friend over and I'd really like to have something special, or I'd even like to do this with my kids, right? And like make little special drinks for something. Or if you're having company, or if you want to do this for yourself to treat yourself, have fun with this. And if you have any questions about any of the things that we talked about this evening, you can feel free to contact me. Here is my name. Here is my email, Instagram and Facebook at Mindful Oil Moments. And here's my website as well. I have a form to share with you so that I can get you all of your things, which is all the recipes that I shared tonight. So let me see if this will let me. Nope. All right. I'm going to stop screen sharing. Oh, look, it did work. Look at that. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing, and I am just going to pop this form in the chat thread really quick. And if you would take just a moment and fill that out, I will send you all the recipes. In addition, I'm going to go back through all the comments. When I get done with this, I get a telescript of all the comments. I will pick someone to be able to, that I will send the mama juice to, and I will announce that in the page. In addition, with your recipes that you have, if it's okay with you, I will just copy them without your name. I'll copy them, paste them into the little recipe book that we have that I went over this evening, so that you have additional recipes to go off of as well. Thank you, Kylene. I know I am dusting off my SCOBY, which is what you use to make kombucha, because during my whole first trimester of my pregnancy, I couldn't even smell it. Like, it was so sad. So it's actually in my garage right now. And people that come in are like, what is happening? Like, what is going on there? What is that thing? I'm like, oh yeah, I need to bring that back in. I need to make this happen. I do have some that I've been brewing down at my office for other people, but yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to do some kombucha. So fill out that form. I will email you all the things, most likely on Wednesday. That's my next day that I'm in the office. And I hope that you enjoyed this evening. I hope that you found value in it. I hope that you found at least one recipe that you can go and try. And if you try any of these, take a little picture, send it to me, or tag me if it's in a story. I would love to see you drinking your mocktails and just living your best life. So I hope that y'all have a good night, and I will see you soon. Next week, we have another call, and I will send you the link to it in the email. And next week's call, I don't remember what it is, but let me see really quick if I can find it. I will send it to you. I can't remember off the top of my head what the topic is. We have so many good topics this month, but we have, see if I can find it really quick. But I will send it to you. Emotions, thank you. Dealing with negative emotions through the holidays. That's next week. And we have a guest speaker for that one. And then on the 20th, we have solutions for strongholds in your life. So a lot of emotional topics this month for, a time that can be a little heavy for a lot of us. And then on the 27th, tax time, how to write off your home-based business. That's going to be on December 27th. So all of these calls are open to everyone. Yes, you can share the links with anyone. We are here just to educate, and that's why we share. So if you would like to join us on a call, you can put that on the Google Doc as well, and we would love to team up with you. I hope that y'all have a great night, and I will see you soon. Take care.